Irrespective of how much wealth, assets, and material possessions we may acquire for comfort in our life, the real wealth lies in our health. We have often heard this saying, but in the hustle and bustle of our lives, we have somewhere forgotten it. It has been noticed of late that the majority of our wellness-related problems are due to the wrong lifestyle. Crack the Wellness Code, or CWC as it is commonly known, has its origin in the health hero story of its founder, Mr. Naren Bakshi, a serial entrepreneur of Indian origin in Silicon Valley. He was able to reverse his lifestyle diseases like diabetes, sleep apnea, and obesity by making lifestyle corrections that were backed by ancient Vedic wisdom and Western scientific research. This led to the establishment of India chapter in June 2020, with Wing Commander V.K. Kala leading the Indian operations. As a pilot, the initiative was launched in the name of Pehla Sukh in association with the Indie Family Foundation, with full support from India Community Center and CWC Global in Silicon Valley. This received due adulation from the Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Ashok Gehlot, and the then Health Minister of Rajasthan, Dr. Raghu Sharma. The encouraging feedback led to the formation of the Indus Wellness Code Trust in April 2021 and finally registered as a Section 8 company under the Companies Act by the name My Crack the Wellness Code Foundation in July 2022. CWC has a dedicated full-time team, doctor patrons, and volunteers with a total focus on wellness. The initiative has conducted more than 50 webinars on various dimensions of wellness such as physical, mental, emotional, and occupational wellness, and so on, with experts from around the globe, including Stanford and Harvard University. Our Wellness Resource Center was established at Mr. Naren Bakshi's ancestral property to run regular wellness activities such as wellness-based events, knowledge and yoga sessions, support group interactions, access to wellness library, and so on. It is located at a prominent commercial hub at Jaipur. Various eminent educational institutions, corporates, and other not-for-profit organizations are already associated with us to work together on spreading the wellness message. This foundation firmly believes that we must take care of our body and mind, as this is the place where we have to spend our entire life. Wellness means that to the extent possible, we should follow good habits in our life so that we remain healthy in all aspects and live our life to the fullest. Healthy mind and thoughts reside in a healthy body, and if we want to live a happy life, then we shouldn't ever let it fall sick. The goal of My CWC Foundation is to bring wellness to the lives of 50 lakh people in 5 years. And for this, our mantra is E, educate, I, inspire, E, empower, and I, impact. Now the question is, how will it happen? First, let's talk about E, which means educate. The foundation will educate its participants through the content, which is available online on our YouTube channel and Khushi app, and offline through content library at a Wellness Resource Center. These resources are based on recommendations by some of the best experts from across the world. We also connect you with our health experts through webinars, workshops, and support groups to be able to get research-based information on wellness. Now comes the I, which means inspire. We inspire participants towards wellness with the support of doctors, health experts, and our health heroes with show and tell approach. E means empower. Participants have the opportunity to choose amongst different support groups, meetups, technology platforms, and mobile applications that empower them to make wellness an integral part of their life. Finally, I means impact. In order to reach its goal of 50 lakh Indians in next 5 years, the Indian chapter of CWC, just like CWC Global, is committed to working on the reversal of lifestyle disorders related to heart, obesity, diabetes, cancer, and mental and behavioral health. Today, India is doing well in various sectors, but when it comes to Global Wellness Index, India ranks fairly low. It is high time that we Indians claim our rightful place in the Health and Wellness Index, and we are sure that we will make an impact there. So, let us all unite in join this cause of a better India, a wellness-oriented India.
Good evening, Namaskaram, Jai Hind. On behalf of team My Crack the Wellness Code Foundation, I, Wing Commander Vidyakant Kala, welcome you all to this session on diet and nutrition for diabetes. In our last session on diabetes, we heard Dr. Saurabh explain to us in simple terms various types of diabetes and how do we identify them. We heard terms like type 1, type 2, gestational diabetes, and so on. We heard about role of insulin as a gatekeeper who is responsible for flow of sugar from our bloodstream into cells. And as to what happens when insulin is not there at all or does not work as it is expected to. In one of our earlier webinars, Dr. Ranjekar had talked about terms like food security and nutrition security. My generation, meaning people in their 60s, might relate to the term food security. It refers to a time when India was struggling to put food on plates of all Indians. While availability of food on our plates has steadily improved, we noticed that in our country, the burden of diabetes has been increasing steadily too since 1990 and at a faster pace since 2000. One of the major reasons for this growth is said to be rapid changes in our dietary patterns. We have enough to eat, but are we eating the right stuff? Do we have enough nutrition in what we eat? And if not, how does it impact us? Is there some relation between diet, nutrition, and diabetes, especially type 2 diabetes? That brings us to today's topic of diet and nutrition for diabetes. To help us answer this question, we have two eminent experts with us today in Dr. A. Srikumar, a practitioner of wellness, and Dr. Vandana Garg, a nutritionist. They both have graced our platform too and need no introduction. But for benefit of our new joiners, I would quickly run through their impressive bios. Dr. A. Srikumar, you can see him there up front. He is a senior consultant in ENT and head and neck surgeon with more than 34 years of clinical practice in India, UK, and Middle East. He has been actively practicing nutritional, environmental, and cellular medicines since 2001, and working as nutritional medicine and wellness consultant for more than 12 years in India, Malaysia, Singapore, Australia, and Oman. He is teaching faculty in Australia College of Nutritional and Environmental Medicine from 2005. He is also teaching faculty of Society for Anti-Aging Aesthetic Regenerative Medicine, or SAAARM, Malaysia since 2006. He is founder and managing director of Wellness Solutions India that was launched in 2002 and has client strength of more than 350,000. He has trained more than 100 doctors in nutritional and environmental medicine in India and internationally. He has founded Sokya Foundation, which is focused on spreading global awareness in cellular health management and rejuvenation with nutritional and environmental medicine. He has conducted more than 100 health seminars and medical camps, written health articles in various magazines and newspapers, and participated in various TV shows that were focused on nutrition and wellness. He is an author too, who has scripted a book titled The Brahmastra. Recently, he has initiated and successfully completed diabetes eradication program in association with National Human Rights Commission in Kumbalam Panchayat in Kochi. And obviously, all this effort has to be rewarded. So he has been honored as fellow SAAARM and was awarded the title by Honorable His Highness Sultan of Kelantan, King Muhammad V of Malaysia. In India, Dr. Srikumar is recipient of Rajiv Gandhi Shrimani Award for the year 2011 for his outstanding service in the field of medicine. He is associated with a lot of professional bodies too. He is the national president of Indian Nutritional Medical Association and has been an invited speaker in various national and international conferences in anti-aging medicine and nutritional congress in Australia, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, and Dubai. Besides, he is actively involved in various professional bodies dealing with wellness. He has conducted 5 international conferences in India. Total medical experience, astounding 42 years. Wellness experience, more than 20 years. Welcome to our platform, Dr. Shikumar. Thanks so much for taking time out and gracing this platform. Then we have Dr. Vandana Garg. We have seen her also before. She is a nutritionist and diet counselor from Jaipur. She is Indian Council of Social Science Research, or ICSSR Research Fellow at University of Rajasthan, and has PhD in Food and Human Nutrition. She is Executive Committee member of Indian Dietetic Association Rajasthan Chapter, and also a member of Indian Association for Parenteral and Enteral Nutrition, or IAPEN, which is focused on issue of malnutrition in social settings or hospitals, and NET-Profane, or Network of Professionals of Food and Nutrition. She has to her credit various research and review papers which have been published in national and international journals at various eminent forums. Dr. Vandana works with people from all walks of life as clinical dietitian and public health expert for management of gastric health, diabetes, hormonal balance, infant maternal nutrition, and sports nutrition. She has been very actively participating in public forums on health and well-being, including ours. She is a founder director of Jivisha, which aims for finding the right balance between nutritional strategies, sustainable food systems, and health. She loves experimenting on developing new recipes which are healthy, wholesome, and nutritious. We also saw an example of this on our platform when we did an event last year around Deepavali, and she brought in some excellent recipes for savories for the festival season. Welcome, Dr. Vandana. Welcome to this forum.
Thank you.
So, I would start by asking you, Vandana ji. You have been counseling so many diabetic patients regarding their diet and nutritional needs. What has been your experience regarding the role that nutrition plays in diabetes management or reversal?
Okay. So, first of all, thank you for the introduction, sir. And thanks to CWC for conducting this type of workshop, for making people aware about right choices. So first thing which I need to say is that nutrition plays a very, very important role in the management of diabetes, because it is due to our poor nutritional habits does this disease come into existence. और सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम ये है आज के सिनेरियो के अंदर कि समहाउ हम लोगों को करेक्ट आइडिया ही नहीं रहता है. हमको ये लगता है कि जो डायबिटीज़ है ये एक ऐसी प्रॉब्लम है जिसके अंदर जो मेजर प्रॉब्लम आती है वो होते हैं एलिवेटेड ब्लड शुगर लेवल्स. मगर एक्चुअली ये एलिवेटेड ब्लड शुगर लेवल से कहीं ज़्यादा बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है. दिस इज़ द प्रॉब्लम ऑफ आवर सेल्स स्टार्विंग फॉर नरिशमेंट. जो भी हम खाना खाते हैं वो हमारे बॉडी में डाइजेस्ट होकर के ग्लूकोज उसमें से एक्सट्रैक्ट होकर के हमारे ब्लड से फ्लो होता हुआ हमारे बॉडी की एक एक सेल तक जाता है. हर एक सेल एक इंडिविजुअल बॉडी जैसे काम करता है. जो मेटाबॉलिज्म का प्रोसेस होता है उसके अंदर रेस्पिरेशन प्रोसेस होता है. ये जो उसके अंदर ड्यू टू जैसे लास्ट सेशन के अंदर हमको डॉक्टर सौरभ ने भी बताया था ये चीज कि इंसुलिन इज द गेट कीपर, एंड व्हेन द गेट कीपर इज नॉट वर्किंग प्रॉपरली तब वो शुगर जो है वो उस सेल के अंदर पहुंच नहीं पाता है. अगर वो शुगर सेल तक नहीं पहुंचता है तो कहीं ना कहीं दैट सेल डाई आउट, उसको नरिशमेंट नहीं मिलता है ग्रो होने के लिए. और इसी के कारण जब हम 2 घंटे बाद में हमारा ब्लड शुगर लेवल चेक करते हैं तो वो अगेन ज़्यादा ही रहता है. क्यों? क्योंकि अगर इंसुलिन ने अपना काम किया रहता तो वो सेल्स में जा चुका रहता वो शुगर, और वहां पे वो मेटाबोलाइज हो चुका रहता। बट अगर वो सेल में एंटर नहीं हो पाया तो हमारे ब्लड स्ट्रीम में ही वो घूमता रहता है, और इसीलिए जब हम खाने के 2 घंटे बाद भी अपने आप को प्रिक करते हैं और चेक करते हैं तो हमारा ब्लड शुगर लेवल हाई रहता है। तो इसीलिए ये जो कॉन्सेप्ट होता है कि हम ये सब बंद कर दो, ये मत खाओ, उससे कुछ नहीं होता, क्योंकि हम लोग काफी बार कई लोगों को हमारे आसपास देखते हैं जो हमसे कई गुना ज्यादा खा रहे होते हैं, जिनकी डाइट हमसे बहुत डिफरेंट रहती है एंड इनफैक्ट अनहेल्दी रहती है, बट उनको कोई प्रॉब्लम स्टार्ट नहीं हुआ रहता है। हो सकता है कि चालू हो गया हो बट एग्जैक्टली विजिबल नहीं होता है, वेयर एज अदर पर्सन कैन एक्सपीरियंस इट वेरी अर्ली इन देयर लाइफ, क्योंकि बहुत सारे अलग अलग और रीजंस होते हैं जिसके बारे में डॉक्टर सौरभ ने बात की थी। बट मेनली यही है कि डायबिटीज इज द प्रॉब्लम ऑफ आवर सेल्स स्टार्विंग रेदर देन एनी अदर थिंग, और इसके लिए हमें ज़रूरी है कि हमारा इंसुलिन परफेक्टली काम करे और हमारे डाइट ऐसी होनी चाहिए, लाइफस्टाइल ऐसी होनी चाहिए जो हमारे इंसुलिन की सेंसिटिविटी को इंक्रीज कर पाए और उसको काम करने के लिए बाध्य करें। इफ दैट थिंग इज हैपनिंग प्रॉपरली तो हम लोग बिल्कुल अश्योर्ड रह सकते हैं कि हमारा ब्लड शुगर लेवल भी नॉर्मलाइज रहेगा और हम लोग अपनी डाइट के अंदर बहुत ज़्यादा वेरिफिकेशंस भी कर सके रहेंगे। आजकल के टाइम पे ड्यू टू ऑल द इंफॉर्मेशन मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन, खैर हम इसके बारे में बात करेंगे लेटर ऑन, बट इसीलिए नरिशमेंट के बारे में बात करना ज़रूरी है, अवेयरनेस फैलाना ज़रूरी है, और ये एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर है हमारे डायबिटीज़ मैनेजमेंट में।
तो आपका कहना यह है कि डायबिटीज के अंदर न्यूट्रिशन, अगर बॉडी को न्यूट्रिशन पूरा नहीं मिल रहा है, that could also be one of the reasons why a person is getting diabetes.
Right, sir.
Thank you so much, Vandana ji, for explaining the role of nutrition in diabetes management and reversal. I'd go ask the same question to Dr. Srikumar also. He has also been treating, he is a wellness practitioner, and who has done so much work on diabetes eradication. What role do you see, Dr. Srikumar, nutrition play in diabetes management or reversal?
So first of all, good evening and thank you, Kalaji, for introducing me and Dr. Vandana to start the initial talk. And actually, in this forum, I have to mention that maybe I have been in practice, especially on wellness for more than 20 years. And the first sentence that I have to narrate here is diabetes is a disorder of energy metabolism. And in the last 10 years, I am saying documented evidences of most of the patients which I have treated, which include more than pre-diabetic around 12,500, diabetic alone around 16,500, diabetes with comorbidities around 35,000, gestational diabetes around 112, type 1 diabetes 220, type 3 diabetes or Alzheimer's disease around 65. So total roughly around 65,000 clients. So in this context, I have to say that I am just wanted to share my experiences, what I feel, especially why the people are suffering from this diabetes mellitus. And I have to stress here, medicine alone cannot do anything in diabetes management or prevent anything. So the nutrition has got a very, very important role here. And when you say, because I just wanted to highlight on, maybe to understand the people, I shared a couple of slides here. So, so what is the role of nutrition here? Because and the first thing that I have to say is you have to actually balance the two worlds. I mean the two world means the world of your internal environment and the world of external environment. So internal environment is actually what is happening in us, and we know that it is not a disease of sugar. And one man's meat is another man's poison. That is the famous words from William Shakespeare, and we know very well, okay, it is true also. So we also should look into the mechanism and research and what is happening. And we know that, okay, Dr. Vandana has told about, and also the Saurabh has also talked about insulin as the gatekeeper. Insulin only role about energy metabolism is only as a gatekeeper, no other role, no conversion of sugar into energy. So I can see here, because I just put up a slide on the right-hand side, especially on nutrients and anti-nutrients too, just to give you a highlight. Maybe we are taking a lot of nutrients in, but we are also having equally bad amount of anti-nutrients, we call it, or you can call it as toxins. You can see that lead is blocking iron, calcium, molybdenum, manganese, chromium, sulfur, and cobalt. Mercury is blocking zinc, selenium, iron, sulfur, and cobalt. Cadmium is blocking zinc, magnesium, selenium, and sulfur. Arsenic is blocking vitamin E, selenium, sulfur, and boron. Aluminium is blocking vitamin E, C, B1, zinc, sodium, potassium, and phosphorus. And antimony blocks zinc and selenium. And you can see today we are filled. I am putting up these heavy metals because they are filled with in our food, whether it is vegetables or non-vegetables or any food that you are having, it is filled with this. Because we have even tested the groundwater in Kerala from different cities and different areas, and we have understood this is in very high concentration. And when we talk about the external environment, we know that we are living in a very, very fast world, and we have a not multitasking. And for that, we need more energy to power on. But this is being blocked by our cultivation and agricultural practices, through which a lot of pesticides, lot of chemicals have been pushed into the soil. And maybe Dr. Vandanaji also maybe agrees that, especially because of the acid rain process that happened in the soil, most of the minerals are being replaced by toxins. And besides, we also have processed raw materials. Most of the raw materials that we purchase today are processed, and fast food, which is deficient raw materials, and pollution, toxicity. This is our external environment. So just look at our internal environment. So I'm just putting this internal environment, especially from the mouth, it is going to the gastrointestinal tract, that is GIT. From chewing, you need enzymes and other things that is present which can digest. And especially when it goes to the stomach, you can see that you need hydrochloric acid, which is actually need a lot of B vitamins and enzymes for digestion. And in liver for use, you need zinc, magnesium, and B6. I am just highlighting the significance of micronutrients here. For pancreas and insulin, so production and storage, you need these minerals, zinc, manganese, and sulfur. So release of insulin, you need magnesium. And for entry of glucose into the cells, so you cannot have insulin alone, cannot do it, that gateway. So you need other minerals and other vitamins, which I have mentioned here. So side door entry, so many types of entry, which is, we call it as insulin receptors, which are doing this along with all these minerals. So if these are deficient in our food, then blood sugar will be high, and that is the problem today, because we cannot just depend on blood sugar and treat it. So what we have to do is the balance of food and water from the environment. And you can see that you are eating food and then actually feeling thirsty, digestion and assimilate, then it's enter into your cells. Actually inside the cells is all these things happen. So we have a problem with the cytoplasm and mitochondrial pathway. I don't want to go into the details, because here is the energy production, which is needed for protein synthesis. And this will affect our electrochemical and electromagnetic signals. So now because I am just highlighting, because this is the mechanism inside, and this is what you get from outside. And with this, we cannot manage diabetes in this modern world. So we have to, all must be aware about this, and you have to think, and we have the way out once we know, and this is the problem. So I think that is why I say nutrition has got the most important significant in managing diabetes prevention as well as in treatment.
Thank you so much, Dr. Srikumar, for giving us your perspective on the subject. You know, you're calling it disorder of energy metabolism, and subsequently, managing our internal and external environment, which has changed so much over the years, and we are already seeing the impact. So you're really focused on, I think, crux of the matter. And I hope our audience benefit from what you're saying, lack of micronutrients, or inclusion of anti-nutrients in our diet, which needs to be taken care of.
Yeah.
So next obvious question that comes up, Vandanaji, is if a diet and nutrition is so important for a diabetic, what dietary guidelines would you recommend? We also hear terms like glycemic index and glycemic load. Can you help our audience understand these two in layman terms?
Yes, sir. So basically the concept of this glycemic index and glycemic load is like broadly used in managing diabetes. or basically I'll say that these two things are just tools which helps in managing, matlab like other tools also, it's just basic calculation tool. So every person we see who suffers from diabetes have got this concept of just shaking ki okay, matlab you would have, like, from any layman person you would have listen them saying that no rice, no sugar, no bananas, no mangoes. Why? Because we are suffering from diabetes. So this concept is the concept of high glycemic index. High glycemic index is just एक वे रहता है मेजर करने का कि हमने किसी को अगर 100 ग्राम ग्लूकोज दिया है एक टाइम में, तो उनका जितना शुगर एलिवेट हुआ, मतलब लाइक इमीडिएट शुगर एलिवेशन जो होता है उसको कैलकुलेट किया गया, और उसके अगेंस्ट में और फूड्स देकर के भी सेम चीज कैलकुलेट की गई। तो और जैसे जितना स्पाइक कर पाता है जो भी कोई फूड प्रोडक्ट हम लेते हैं 100 ग्राम्स की क्वांटिटी में, उसके हिसाब से उसका हम लोग ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स कैलकुलेट करते हैं। तो जैसे व्हाइट राइस का और जो ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स का जो टेबल है, इसमें ये रहता है कि 0 to 55 जिस भी चीज़ों का ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स आता है हम उसको लो ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स फूड बोलते हैं। फिर 56 से लेकर के 69 अगर ये वैल्यू है तो वो मिड ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स होता है, एंड अबव दैट इज हाई ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स। मगर जब हम ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स की बात करते हैं तो कई बार एक चीज़ हम भूल जाते हैं कि अगर हम लोग शुगर खा रहे हैं या कोई ऐसी चीज़ खा रहे हैं तो वो हम लोग 100 ग्राम्स वन गो के अंदर no person will be eating it, the quantity will be very less। इसीलिए ग्लाइसेमिक लोड के कॉन्सेप्ट पे काम किया जाता है ज़्यादातर। ग्लाइसेमिक लोड ये रहता है कि हम उसको कितना क्वांटिटी में खा रहे हैं, बिकॉज देयर मे बी अ फूड विच इज़ लो इन ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स, मगर अगर हम उसको ज़्यादा क्वांटिटी में खा रहे हैं, एक बार में 300 400 500 ग्राम खा रहे हैं, तो डेफिनेटली उसका लोड ज़्यादा हो जाता है। सिंपल कैलकुलेशन के टर्म्स में हम उसको इस तरीके से देखते हैं कि अगर किसी फूड का ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स जो भी वैल्यू आ रहा है 51 है 60 है, तो उसको हम लोग मल्टीप्लाई करते हैं 100 ग्राम उस फूड प्रोडक्ट के अंदर कितना कार्बोहाइड्रेट है उससे डिवाइडेड बाय 100। मैं एक सिंपल एग्जांपल देना चाहूँगी, जैसे जो बनाना फ्रूट हम लोग कंज्यूम करते हैं तो उसका ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स 51 52 के अप्रॉक्स रहता है, और जो उसको मिड रेंज के अंदर डालता है ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स के। मगर एक बार के अंदर हमारा सर्विंग बनाना का ऑलमोस्ट 80 ग्राम से ज़्यादा नहीं होता है, जिसके अंदर अंदाजन 20 ग्राम कार्बोहाइड्रेट रहता है, मेकिंग इट ग्लाइसेमिक लोड अप्रॉक्स 10। तो जो उसको लो ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स पे लोड के ऊपर ले आता है, लो उसके अंदर में। तो इसीलिए सर मतलब लाइक डायबिटीज इज अ कंप्लीट गेम, जहाँ पे हमको बहुत सारी चीज़ों का एक साथ ध्यान रखना पड़ता है कि क्वांटिटी कितनी है, उसकी क्वालिटी क्या है। उसके अलावा भी एक और जो एक दो चीज़ें कंसिड्रेशन में रखनी पड़ती है वो रहता है कि हम किस टाइम में उस पर्सन को वो फूड दे रहे हैं, उस समय क्या उसने एक्सरसाइज किया है नहीं किया है, वो टायर्ड है, वो क्या कर रहा है, उसकी एक्टिविटीज़ कैसी है। तो इसलिए मल्टीपल लेवल पे काम करके एक डायबिटिक पर्सन की डाइट प्लान की जाती है, और इसीलिए ये एक जनरलाइज गाइडलाइन देना डिफिकल्ट रहता है। मगर एक दो चीज़ें जिसके लिए हम लोग हमेशा अवेयर कराते हैं पर्सन को, दैट इज़ कि प्लीज़ गो अहेड विद अ डाइट विच इज़ मोर सस्टेनेबल। क्योंकि ये ऐसा नहीं होता कि हमने 3 महीने एक पर्टिकुलर डाइट लिया, हमारा लेवल थोड़ा डाउन आ गया एंड वी आर गुड। एटलीस्ट हमारा 5 years का पर्सपेक्टिव होना चाहिए उस डाइट को फॉलो करने के लिए। अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, आप जिस भी डाइटिशियन के पास विजिट कर रहे हैं, जस्ट मेक श्योर दैट शी इज़ अ क्वालिफाइड वन, और वो आपको एजुकेट भी करे उसके साथ में, बिकॉज जैसे मैं आपको बता रही हूँ कि बहुत सारे फैक्टर्स हैं जो वेरी करते हैं इस चीज़ में। तो इसीलिए उसके बारे में करेक्ट अवेयरनेस होना बहुत ज़रूरी है। सिंपल सी चीज़ है कि राइस का ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स हाई होता है, मगर हम लोग जब राइस कंज्यूम करते हैं तो वी कंज्यूम इट विद दाल, जिसकी वजह से उसका इंडेक्स कम हो जाता है। फर्दर वी ऐड घी टू इट, फर्दर लोअरिंग इट्स ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स। सो इस टाइप के अगर मील्स कंज्यूम किए जाए तो हमारे काफ़ी सारे जो इंडियन ट्रेडिशनल मील्स है वो काफ़ी फिट होते हैं डायबिटिक मील्स के लिए। और सेकेंड थॉट ये है कि जो आजकल प्रोसेस्ड और पैकेज्ड फूड है, जैसे डॉक्टर श्री कुमार सर ने हमको बताया है कि दीज फूड्स आर नॉट बिकॉज द टाइप ऑफ मेटल्स एंड अदर थिंग्स विच गेट इन टू आवर सिस्टम, वो हमको जो प्रॉब्लम्स क्रिएट करता है वो एक अलग लेवल का गेम है। सेकेंडली, मार्केटिंग की वजह से लोगों में ये अवेयरनेस आ रही है कि ओके दिस हाई फाइबर बिस्किट इज गुड फॉर अस, बट हाउ मच क्वांटिटी दे आर हैविंग विथ इट, व्हाट ऑल आर द बेसिक इंग्रेडिएंट्स अपार्ट फ्रॉम, क्योंकि उसके अंदर हम मैदा को हमने हाई फाइबर फ्लोर से रिप्लेस कर दिया, बट अदर इंग्रेडिएंट्स हैव नॉट बीन रिप्लेस्ड। So we need to take care of each and everything in moderation, and balance have to come to one place so as to take care of diabetes.
Okay. So what you're saying is there is no standard diet for a diabetic person. It will vary from person to person, right? And तो जो भी लोग सुन रहे हैं इस बात को ध्यान से सुनिए कि कोई standard formula नहीं है इसका. You must go and consult your physician and dietitian also, who can advise you an optimal diet. और ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स जैसा बताया आपने, ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स और ग्लाइसेमिक लोड दोनों को बैलेंस करके चलना है. ये नहीं है कि किसी फूड का ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स लो है तो उसका आप लोड थोक के भाव करें. You know, you have to be careful about that. Will that be right to say, Vandana ji?
Yes, sir. And basically, I want to say that these both things are tools. जैसे हमारा कैलोरी कैलकुलेशन एक टूल होता है और भी टूल्स होते हैं. दिस इज जस्ट अ टूल एंड हमको सभी चीज़ों का साथ में ध्यान रखना चाहिए कि हमारी क्या बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट है. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, जैसे कई बार आपने भी देखा होगा, द पीपल हु आर सफरिंग फ्रॉम डायबिटीज गो ऑन वेरी हाई फाइबर डाइट. व्हेन दे गो ऑन अ वेरी हाई फाइबर डाइट, तो वो हाई फाइबर उनकी बॉडी से जिंक को फ्लश आउट कर देता है. एंड जिंक प्ले अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल इन द मेटाबॉल, मतलब लाइक जो श्री कुमार सर ने बताया है कि हमारी जो हमारी सेल्यूलर साइकिल्स के लिए दे आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. तो यू कैन नॉट जस्ट ओवरडू ऑन योर फाइबर्स ऑल्सो, यू हैव टू मैनेज एंड बैलेंस इट.
Absolutely. So micronutrients you have to really worry about, and you may not really understand how does what you are eating impact your micronutrients absorption or exhaust out from the body.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you so much, Vandana ji. Dr. Srikumar, would you like to add something to what we just heard from Dr. Vandana?
Yeah, one of those few things that I have to add here is what Vandana ji was telling was absolutely right, because there is no hardcore a single diet for diabetes. It is highly personalized. I will say personalized to the epigenetic level or maybe genetic level. So you can say that it is a highly personalized thing. And second, what I have to see is we are living in a very, very fast world, and it is going to be much more faster. And the requirement of your calorie intake should be, because the energy intake should be higher. But the only thing is that how to improve that energy intake. So that is why, because especially on cereals and the grains, if you are taking too much of energy, if you are depending on that, then it can create a problem, because it can create a imbalance of the hormones, especially that we see as especially insulin, steroid, thyroid hormone, all these go for imbalance. So what you have to look here is, especially Vandana ji was telling about mixing rice with dal and ghee. It is very, very good, because actually you are reducing the glycemic index but increasing the amount of energy that is actually can be used by the body. And same way you can, especially you have to add similar things, especially in most of the food that we consume. It is not for one food or two food, but most of the foods that you consume, you have to have a combination of good amount of carbohydrate, but you have to have an equally good amount of fat, and also you have to see that protein should be there. And the most important thing for this, all these things, is you have to improve the digestion. Digestion is the key factor here. I think what I have seen in clinical practice is almost all people who are diabetic have very low digestion. So digestive system has to be improved. And a lot of people give a lot of probiotics and other things, but it will not work, because it will be destroyed by the time it reaches your colon. So what you have to do is improve your acid production in the stomach. Today we are living not in hyperacidity, we are living in a world of hypoacidity. So one of the most powerful ingredient, Dr. Vandana also told about zinc. Zinc is absolutely necessary for hydrochloric acid production. So zinc is necessary for that, and zinc is necessary for converting all the minerals that you consume into picolinate before absorption. So you can see the link with the pancreas and other things. So you can see that there's a great link between digestion, pancreas, and liver that is happening in the stomach itself. And today we are actually destroying it because of various factors, maybe in the diet and a lot of things that you are consuming. So digestion is the key. And with the digestion, you have to see that most of the digestive improving food are there. Especially you can have yogurt, you can have apple, you can have fennels, you can have chia seeds, you can have papaya, lemon tea. Lot of, even if when you take grains, it is preferably whole grains should be preferable, because it will actually improve a lot of things. And you can see a lot of beetroot, papaya, and all these things have a lot of enzymes in those. So enzyme rich food and probiotic rich food or fermented food has to be added, especially if you wanted to balance here. And especially when I normally talk to people, because what I have found result is, especially when people, if you are taking this in the dinner or late night, lot of people in Kerala, especially in most parts of India, are taking food late night. So late night food is very bad, because even if you wanted to take a high protein, high fat diet, it should be, I will say, before 7 is ideal, or at the least it should be at 8. So this is the problem. So you have to have 2.5 hours before you go to sleep, because your high protein diet or high fat diet will stimulate your cortisol or steroid hormone production. This has to come down, and the melatonin has to come up. So you can see that, okay, your diet should be much early in the night, and it should be, you need good protein and good fat, because you need to repair this during your sleep. Your body repairing mechanism has to happen, so that you can have a very good sleep. So this is the problem, especially when you consider, especially diabetes, and maybe leading to a lot of things. So these are some of the add-ons which I have to say, especially when Dr. Vandana has spoken very in depth about how to take, or what are the different types of routine food that has to be taken.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shivakumar. You brought out actually one more point. It's not only important what you take, but it's also important when you take it, and how you take it. Right? So need to go back to our original basics, have early dinner, and that itself takes care of a lot of issues.
Right.
So now that we have learned about role of nutrition as also, dietary guidelines roughly. Vandanaji, I have a question for you. There are a lot of simple solutions that we have to manage or reverse diabetes, like eat soaked methi dana every day for X number of days. I'm sure, people would come to you and ask questions like this. That this is a simple remedy. What do you advise them? Can you share some of these, that you hear from people? And, if they are myth or reality?
With WhatsApp forwards on a regular basis, people used to come with some of the other things, just gaining knowledge. And I'm not saying that having like soaked methi seeds or having cinnamon with milk, or these are harmful things, but definitely they are not going to work in isolation. What normally people does, because the claims that are being made, like on YouTube also, when we search the type of claims which are, somehow it used to like confuse people, and what they think is just doing by this small activity in the day, they're going to reverse their diabetes, or people just stop taking their medications at all. First thing is that while trying to manage diabetes with diet, उस समय भी हमें ये ध्यान रखना पड़ता है कि medicines आपका चलता रहेगा. As your sugar start dropping, the amount of medicine will like वो कम होता जाएगा, बट आप उसको बंद नहीं कर सकते हैं. With all these claims happening, people directly stop consuming medication and they just come to this small quick fixes. No quick fixes is going to work in diabetes. Definitely they are good thing, but we have to see the complete picture. जैसे सर ने बताया about the importance of sleeping. तो अगर हमारा टाइमली स्लीप नहीं है, अगर हमारा एक्टिविटी ठीक नहीं है, अगर हम डायबिटीज के लिए वो छोटा सा एक्ट करने के बाद में फास्टिंग और फीस्टिंग अप्रोच रखते हैं, तो दैट इज गोइंग टू लाइक हार्म आवर सिस्टम लाइक एनीथिंग. So it is not possible that we just consume this methi dana soaked methi dana seeds followed by 4 rasgulla. This is not going to work for us. So we have to like overall plan our thing. And diabetes में एक बहुत बड़ी problem है, which is fasting and feasting. जैसे मैं बात कर रही थी कि people with diabetes have to like take care of their system. उनका जो इंसुलिन है, जिसके बारे में हमने बात किया था कि इंसुलिन इनसेंसिटिविटी रहता है, माइक्रो न्यूट्रिएंट का एब्जॉर्प्शन अच्छा नहीं रहता है, जिसकी वजह से प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है. सो टू सेंसिटाइज योर इंसुलिन एज वेल एज टू इम्प्रूव द एब्जॉर्प्शन ऑफ माइक्रो न्यूट्रिएंट्स इन द डाइट, वी नीड टू टेक केयर ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग कि हमें अपने मील्स प्रॉपरली प्लान करके एक रेगुलर इंटरवल्स के अंदर टाइमली मील कंज्यूम करना चाहिए. वी शुड रिस्पेक्ट आवर मील टाइमिंग्स. ये नहीं होना चाहिए कि ओके आई एम गोइंग आउट, देन मैं जब भी आ रही हूँ मैं 10 घंटा भूखे रह रही हूँ, फिर नेक्स्ट डे आई विल बी ईटिंग 7 to 8 मील्स, उसके नेक्स्ट डे आई विल बी ईटिंग 2 मील्स. That is not possible with diabetes. Basically we have to respect our system, our body, and other things will take care of themselves. और जैसे सर ने बताया था, तो वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि हमको एक बैलेंस प्लेट अप्रोच के साथ जाना चाहिए. जैसे हमने जब वेट लॉस डाइट के बारे में डिस्कस किया था प्रीवियस सेशंस के अंदर में, तब भी हमने बात कही थी कि आप अपनी जो भी प्लेट लेते हैं, मतलब लाइक प्लानिंग योर प्लेट, मेक श्योर दैट 50% ऑफ द प्लेट इज फिल्ड विथ वेजिटेबल्स. इधर कुक्ड फॉर्म और रॉ फॉर्म जैसा भी रहता है, एंड वो वेजिटेबल्स मतलब ग्राउंड के नीचे से नहीं आनी चाहिए, बिकॉज ग्राउंड के नीचे से आता है तो वो कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स, और आपका 1/3 मतलब लाइक हाफ प्लेट शुड बी फिल्ड विथ वेजिटेबल्स. Apart from that, the remaining half, 25% should be filled with proteins, and rest 25 should be carbohydrates. Either it can be roots or tubers or millets or cereals, depending कि आपका कैसा मतलब like how you prefer having it. तो ये राउंड ऑफ अप्रोच रहता है. अभी के टाइम पे you might have seen people doing keto diet for managing diabetes. उससे एक बार के लिए हो सकता है कि देयर मे बी डिफरेंस इन देयर ब्लड ग्लूकोज लेवल, बट इन अ लॉन्ग रन नीदर इट इज सस्टेनेबल. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, जो हमने गट माइक्रोबायोटा का बात किया था ऑन द प्रीवियस सेशंस, तो इट इज़ गोइंग टू डिस्टर्ब आवर गट माइक्रोबायोटा लाइक एनीथिंग, एंड माइट भी आपका टेम्पररी डायबिटीज रिवर्स हो सकता है, बट द थ्रेशोल्ड यू आर पुटिंग योरसेल्फ ऑन, मतलब लाइक कितने सारे और डिजीजेज हैं विच कैन कम इनटू एक्शन ड्यूरिंग दिस पर्टिकुलर कोर्स. तो इसीलिए एक एडवाइस जो टोटलिटी में आता है, फोकस ऑन दैट, do not go for quick fixes, and doing chunks of things won't going to help in diabetes. You have to take care overall.
The bottom line is that there's no quick fix solution. You have to follow the process, and then only you can take care of diabetes. Dr. Shivakumar, what do you have to say on this? I'm sure you would have also heard something like this in your practice.
Yeah, definitely. The quick fixes are not there. A lot of people come, especially say, take these supplements so that you can stop the medication. No, you cannot stop like that. But maybe only thing is that when the micronutrient absorption and other things improve, your daily dosage of medicines can go down. So that will actually take some time before the patient responds to it. So you have to wait. So it is not all of a sudden. So suddenly you cannot say when or how it is happening. Because in my experience, I can see it happening maybe 6 months, 1 year. And a lot of people have reversed, and maybe on a very minimal dosage of medications, they can continue. So the most important thing is it can, one of the most powerful thing that I just put in when a patient comes with diabetes is just your next aim is to prevent the complications. So complications have to, that is the number one aim for managing diabetes. That is what, the quick fixes, it will not work. So you have to have a real integrative balance between diet, dietary supplements, and medications.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Shivakumar.
Yeah.
So for all those who are listening, keep telling yourself there's no quick fix solution. You have to work at it, follow a particular process, manage your diet, manage your exercises, and then you can address the problem. So Dr. Shivakumar, one more question that keeps coming up related to diet and diabetes is, when should one take medicine and or insulin, before, after food, and why so? Some cases they say before food, some cases they say after food. Why is it so that way?
So there are a lot of people, especially when you, if you, some of the patients come and say that, okay, as soon as you take the fasting blood sugar is very high, and after the food, the blood sugar goes down. The reverse happens, and sometimes it is the reverse happens. So the problem is here how to place the type of medications that you are giving. If the patient is on oral hypoglycemic oral tablets, then actually it should be taken at least, I will say minimum, it should not be more than 30 minutes before the food. So it should be before the food, because the absorption is faster. And until otherwise there is a gastric problem, gastric upset, and they cannot tolerate the medications, then only it is, will say, okay, maybe during the meals or after. Otherwise, always the medication should be before your food. When it comes to insulin injection, I will say some people I have seen, they take insulin and forget to take the food, and what happens? Hypoglycemia. So as soon as you take the food, maybe and put the plate and ready for your food, then only you have to take your adequate dose of insulin. And some people have the habit, especially people who are taking the insulin, they check their blood sugar at home, and based on that they give. But even then, I will say, take the plate of food, because you don't know what is going to happen. Suddenly the blood sugar might go down. Hypoglycemia is a big problem. So actually, especially when you look at the blood sugar level, fluctuations are bad, but a small graph is always good.
Okay.
Some ups and downs. So fluctuation should not happen. That is the most important aim of actually taking any medication. And when you are giving, especially proper diet and dietary supplements, you have to tell the patient about maybe after some time, slowly, some slight changes in hypoglycemia can happen. So then we have to adjust the dosage accordingly.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shiv Kumar. वंदना जी, क्या आपके पास भी ये सवाल आता है कभी?
यस सर, आता है, बट प्रॉब्लम ये रहती है कि पीपल विजिट डाइटिशियंस ओनली व्हेन देयर डॉक्टर्स आर आफ्टर देयर लाइफ. सो बेसिकली बिफोर विजिटिंग अ डाइटिशियन they would have been suffering from diabetes since a very long time. तो
Right.
they are more educated and aware about कि medicines कब लेना है, कैसे manage करना है. But as a dietitian, it is my role to sensitize them with regards to hypoglycemia, and I have to be continuously in the touch with doctor, because होता क्या है कि as soon as the like if a person is not doing anything specific with regards to his diet and lifestyle before visiting me, suppose जब वो आके चालू करते हैं, एक proper protocol start करते हैं, तो it might happen कि within a couple of weeks उनका blood sugar level जो पहले बहुत high रहता है, जिसकी वजह से उनकी higher medication चलती रहती है, वो थोड़ा manage होने लग जाता है, and they might suffer from hypoglycemia. So first thing that I used to advise is कि please monitor your blood sugar levels. It is very important, and if it is going down, please go back to your doctor so as to revise your dose. Apart from that, प्लीज कैरी समथिंग वेरी हैंडी विथ यू, ताकि कभी भी अगर आपको ऐसा लगे कि आप हाइपरग्लाइसीमिया में जा रहे हैं, तो यू मे जस्ट कंज्यूम सम ग्लूकोज और शुगर दैट यू आर कैरिंग विथ यू. तो ये ज़रूरी होता है टू सेंसिटाइज देम अबाउट ऑल दिस थिंग्स. एंड डेफिनेटली द डोज जो रिवीजन रहता है डोजेस का, वो बीइंग अ डाइटिशियन आई एम नॉट द राइट पर्सन टू डू दैट. People like Dr. Shri Kumar, Dr. Saurabh Jain, they're the perfect person, because I have seen a lot of patients themselves adjusting their doses. They're like कि नहीं अभी ऐसा है तो we will be doing something like this, and I continuously advise कि नहीं, this is something that your doctor needs to do. You please go ahead and just check with them what needs to be done.
Thank you so much, Vandana ji. So please watch out, all those who are listening to this webinar. You know, do not just take medication on your own. Don't change medications on your own. Take help of an expert before you do anything.
Yeah.
Dr. Shimar, you mentioned term complications. You know, we keep hearing that diabetes is a silent killer as it leads to various complications. You know, we also hear of complications like fatty liver or fatty pancreas, which are seen in diabetic patients. Does nutrition play any role in managing or preventing such complications also? What's your experience on that?
Okay. It's a very important and very powerful question, especially in the case of diabetes. And I am very happy that CWC is very much in it, because what you are doing now is, which I have designed some years back, especially I called it educate, empower, and eradicate. The first thing is educate the public. So once they know scientifically what is happening, then they are empowered. So when they are empowered, actually, you can see that the complications or other disease process will not happen. So one of the most important thing is diabetes is one of the world's largest epidemic, not COVID. So it is a silent destroyer of everything, and maybe it reduces your immune system and a lot of things. So complications, I have seen plenty, especially in the terminal case, lot of things. And I have seen cardiac problems, I have seen stroke, and I have seen diabetic gangrene, which is going for amputation. So all these things. So what are these complications that you come across? Before I say about this case, there I will say about one of my experience with a lady who is 79 years of age. She was on insulin dependent diabetic. She was taking insulin for almost 6-7 years. She had an ulcer in the toes, and it became big, and so 2 toes have already gone, and then it became a gangrene. So the doctors in the medical college advised to amputate. She was 79. She said she is not ready for amputation. Let her die. So the people, the relatives were in confusion. So one of the professors in the medical college has actually referred the case to me to see, because the patient is not ready for amputation. So you see if anything is possible. So I just put her on, especially on completely on nutrition and diet and other dietary supplementation, especially on injectable nutrients. Also, I have given after assessing. What I have seen is after 1 month, the wound has healed and the gangrene has disappeared, and
Wow.
all the healing mechanism happened. But after 3 years, her blood sugar is stabilized, and I could stop the insulin. I could stop the medications. And even now, I think it is almost 7 years. She is past 85, 86. She is not on medication for last 6 years. And this has been this thing in which it came, because one of the things that I have found is, okay, pancreas is producing enough insulin. So that means even you can regenerate beta cells of pancreas at any age. And that means it can produce enough insulin. And also you support with enough nutrients, then you can see that, okay, this can go in balance, especially in old age. So in old age, I'm not saying, I'm just telling one case example. And I'm seeing that a lot of diabetic complications are mainly on cardiovascular system. So blood vessels and vascular damage here and there. It can be coming as heart attack, cholesterol, stroke, and also another most important thing is chronic kidney disease. One of the world famous nephrologists, when we were attending a conference in US, then he was telling me, if a diabetic patient has a kidney problem, that is the medicines or the treatment given by the doctor is wrong. So the doctor is responsible for a diabetic patients going for a kidney problem. So that means he does not know how to, because what we are doing is just check the blood sugar and give insulin or some medicines. That is not the way, because that will destroy the kidney. So I have seen mental health, cardiovascular system, kidney problem, eye damage, and especially and skin and mouth conditions, hearing impairment, Alzheimer's disease. If you really look into all these things, even though these are complications of diabetes, these are complications of insulin resistance. So that means it is the complication of high insulin. So what is the role of giving high dose of oral hypoglycemic agents or insulin alone without looking into the cellular metabolism? This is where some of the things that has happened. So if the excess blood sugar can lead to infection like pneumonia and gangrene or diabetic ulcer, and all those things are happening. And so we can say that diabetic complications are of two types. One is mainly because of the pH has changed and the infection starts and it became more acidic. And on the other side, it is directly related with hormonal imbalances. You have to understand that diabetes is not a disease of insulin alone. It has got more than 10, 12 hormones working in union. So you have to create that balance, especially even in pancreas itself has got 4 hormones. Then your intestine is producing incretins, and then you can see the thyroid, steroid, and female hormones like estrogen, progesterone, and male hormone like testosterone. All these are playing a big role, especially in managing your blood sugar under the control and also the energy metabolism. So you have to understand, Doctor, these balances are very, very significant. And today in the early case, which nowadays, because the last 5 years, I used to, when I send a patient for a scan, ultrasound scan, I used to tell, okay, why don't you do analyze the pancreas? So they have picked up fatty pancreas. Fatty pancreas is a very, very silent, maybe this thing which you can manage very easily in early stage so that you can prevent further complications. So fatty pancreas later on leads to fatty liver. But before that, it can lead to a lot of other complications that we are mentioning. So it is just like the same management. The management is mainly nutritional. It is not medical. So no, medicines maybe have a supportive role, especially in managing blood sugar or maybe HbA1c and okay under this. And along with that, the nutritional role in management, this is very high. So I will be just requesting Dr. Vandana also, when you are seeing a patient, you just ask the patient to do some ultrasound pancreas, the picture. Then the radiologist will just look for it. And you can say that most of the patients I have seen now, any patient that I am sending, all of them have very good amount of pancreatitis. So especially you have to work fatty pancreas, you have to work like you are managing obesity, because then only you can actually improve the production of enzymes and also the other hormones produced from insulin from the pancreas. So that is why this has got a great significance, and especially in managing. So that is why when I say a diabetic patient comes, you have to assess the person properly. If we have good dietitians in our clinic. Before that, I used to do it. So when good dietitians, they analyze properly, especially on the dietetic and other nutritional aspect that you can find out in the body. I say you look at the skin, hair, nails. Most powerful thing that you can understand a lot of things. The investigations are secondary. So now I think we have I have a couple of dietitians who are very, very good in picking up. Then they'll come and say, sir, there is there's some spot in the nail, something happening in the hair, and all those things they can. So I'll say, okay, what is going wrong there? Then you can see that it may be toxins, it can be hormones, so we detoxify. So simple things your hair and nails will show, and the skin also shows, which you can stop from the preventing a lot of complications. And especially I am not happy because I used to manage a lot of cases with chronic kidney patient who is already undergoing dialysis, especially after this. So I could not reverse the dialysis, or I can say that I cannot reverse any kidney damage once it has happened. But you can prevent a lot of things, and you can prevent the morbidities. You can reduce the number of dialysis that is happening in a week, and you can reduce the complications of dialysis, like cramps in the body, cramps in the legs, and other things that is happening, and also frequent infections. And I have a couple of doctors who are very actively practicing doctors here who are undergoing dialysis. They are under my care, especially now they were having 3 dialysis in a week, now only 2 dialysis. But in between, I used to give a lot of injections, especially nothing but micronutrients like minerals and other things, combinations we give. And these people are having no other problem. They can practice themselves. They are going for all their normal work, everything. So everything can be normal. So anyway, diabetes happen and some complications have arisen. So I will say, if there is no complication, prevent the complications. And early finding is maybe one of the thing that I know. I think it is fatty pancreas, and it is the other things will come later on. So if you are if there is no complications, maybe an ultrasound can pick up. But even if the fatty pancreas is there, I think manage the case nutritionally very well, so that you can prevent lot of morbidities and complications and keep their patient very good.
Wow, Dr. Shikumar, that's amazing insight you bring to the table.
Thank you.
For benefit of people, and you're talking about things which I'm sure many of us have not heard before. So one question that
Achha, I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
Vandana, you're saying something?
Yes, I just wanted to, like, as Dr. Shri Kumar have mentioned, कि diabetes is a problem which we should not wait for like arrival of it. We should be as a precaution, because nowadays people as young as in their early 30s suffer from diabetes. And in women, the lady of 25-year-old who have conceived recently with slight increase in the body weight, gestational diabetes is there. So it comes very early as compared to what it was happening in 10 to 20 years before the scenario have completely changed. So basically we should not wait for the diabetes to happen to a person to take care of it. And the signs and symptoms, as Dr. Shri Kumar have mentioned, so people should look forward their signs and symptoms. They should just analyze their diet lifestyle. If they find that something is not going right, if they have got spot on their skin, if they're like body weight, they're losing on their body weight, especially on their arm and feet, if they have reduced the arms and feet are squeezing and it's just the belly which is like rising, then definitely they should immediately get themselves checked with regards to it. If they're cramping, then definitely their magnesium and B vitamins is not again doing good. So we have to take care of each and everything. And I personally believe that in colleges and corporates, people should be continuously sensitized with regards to taking care of themselves, because as Dr. Saurabh also mentioned in his last session, that it is a silent killer. People do not notice it coming. So basically with the signs and symptoms which Dr. Shri Kumar have mentioned, we need to continuously keep a check on it, and we should not wait for it to happen and then treat it.
You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Vandanaji. Any closing remarks, Dr. Shri Kumar?
Yeah, one other thing, especially Vandanaji was talking about the prevention. So I say that, okay, because we were having a lot of school health programs we are doing, especially in children. So I am actually making them aware about, because most of the children are today obese, especially in the 15 years, 16 years and all. And also we are also doing a lot of corporate wellness today. So what I normally tell them is, okay, any stress related or any tension or any other things that is related with them. So some of the investigations, if they want to, the children don't want any investigations. You can just, because I am feeling very happy with children, because they understand things very easily and they follow it much better than, because only thing you have to talk science to them. If you just blah blah, they will not accept you.
True.
And you have to just talk about what is this happening, why is it. But in corporates, they want all the some of the. But I used to say, don't check the blood sugar alone. So I used to say, when I am doing, it's okay if they wanted to get out, especially people with stress and maybe impending, especially gestational diabetic, and maybe some PCOD or some irregularity in menses in women. So I used to tell them, you check blood sugar level along with insulin, C-peptide, and homocysteine. So what you in these 4 tests, you can analyze almost everything. So you can see the balance, and then you just balance it. That is more than enough. You can prevent most of the diabetes that is going to come. So you don't have to go for a much in-depth checkup and other things. So I am just telling this because this simple test can make people aware. So they should be aware first, and for them to be aware, you have to show them, and then you can tell your what all things you want to do. Do exercise, do good diet, and maybe fasting, as Vandana was telling about. Because I am also against blind fasting or following just a fast because somebody told, until otherwise scientifically somebody explains to them, okay, fasting is good. I will not accept it, because because I was the first person to talk on ketogenic diet in US some years back. But I talked about that. I said, okay, this is not to be followed. This is a science. But only thing is that you have to understand the science, and then maybe if it is following it, it cannot do with some food or some this thing. Keto, a lot of keto foods are coming nowadays. And I said, okay, these are all stupid, all commercial games only. But that won't work. So fasting or other things that is actually happening should be based on a good dietitian or a doctor. Every doctor does not know. A doctor who is trained in it should actually explain. Then only they can go for a good diet. So I think that is okay. That is my take on that. Okay.
Thank you so much. So thanks, Dr. Shikumar and Dr. Vandanaji, for such an insightful session, wherein you both simplified things for benefit of all our audience. Thanks so much to all our audience for listening so patiently. We hope you'll benefit from these. You can also watch this on YouTube. You can share it with your friends. The YouTube link can be shared so that they can also benefit from it on an ongoing basis. In case anyone wants to connect with Dr. Shikumar or Dr. Vandana Garg, please do let us know. And in case there's anybody who has a question, where we have a couple of minutes. I think we have a couple of minutes on our hand. So in case there's anybody who has a question, please come forward. I saw one question. What are the latest standards for A1C and blood sugar? And Dr. Shikumar.
Yeah. First of all, I don't follow any management based on HbA1c alone. I will actually, even if HbA1c, along with it, I will ask for fasting blood sugar and fasting insulin and C-peptide. And based on that only, I will give any suggestion, because HbA1c is only a rough guide. Just a blood glucose alone is not the way to just increase the insulin or increase the dosage. So if at all you wanted to change the lifestyle or change the nutritional dietary patterns or even medications. So without this, as a doctor who is practicing functional aspect, I don't agree with just on doing HbA1c, increase insulin or decrease insulin, and that is not right, because scientifically that is not right. That is what I feel.
Thank you so much. So that question was from Dr. Mr. Vikram Rastogi. Sir, any more question from you? If you are there.
Can I speak? Wing
Yeah,
Commander
please.
Kal.
Yeah, please go ahead, sir.
Dr. Shivakumar, I've understood what you say, but there has been a debate going on in US, cardiology department and physicians, and I understand that the standard which was there up to 100 fasting, sugar fasting, it has been raised to 130. So I wanted to have a comment from you only to that extent.
Okay. I am fasting blood sugar, what you said is right. I don't say fasting blood sugar should be below 100. It can be 130 or 140. I don't care, because any person who is fasting more than 6 hours, their blood sugar will go up, because it has to go, because they need energy, they need a lot of things. So actually the reverse process happens, gluconeogenesis happens, fat is burned, and you will get blood sugar. So whether it is fasting or postprandial, there should be upper limit, and we know the kidney tolerance, and I'll say, okay, the maximum limit that I normally give is 160. So whether it is any random or postprandial or fasting or whatever it is. And HbA1c, and along with that, I always think that I wanted to, because if some people are so curious about it, I say, you just check your insulin and C-peptide. So if that is matching, then you don't have to worry. If that is not matching, then you can maybe reanalyze and maybe, and not drugs, I will be saying good nutritional intervention. Okay, sir, I hope.
Can I ask another question, sir?
Of course, you can ask.
Yeah, please go ahead.
This is a question for Dr. Shiv Kumar as well as Dr. Vandana. In my case, HbA1c used to be more than 7 all the time for about 20 years.
Okay.
Now, there are 3 things which I've done, and to my knowledge, it has come down. One is 3 glasses water, empty stomach in the morning, no salt, no sugar, as far as possible, no tea. And शाम को मैं 4 बजे एक पेठे का जूस लेता हूँ, पेठे का, white पेठे का. This is the major. और जौ की रोटी खाता हूँ. तो मैंने देखा है कि because of this, I have found that it has come to 6.8, sir. And my BP, which used to be 140/90 for almost a couple of years, has come down to 120/80, 120/70. So my personal feeling is, we've got a dietitian, Dr. Vandana Garg, and you are there, sir. So my personal feeling is that because of these 2-3 factors, that things have improved. And that is why my blood pressure has come down, and I have reduced the metamorphin 500 mg in the morning. In the evening, I've just reduced to 1. And I'm going to reduce my BP also. So probably this is because whatever changes I made. So I would like to have your valued comments, sir.
May I ask you, where are you from? Which city you are staying?
Jaipur, sir, Jaipur.
Jaipur, okay. Maybe the one other thing is, especially because there's an old saying, when you feel hungry, you drink water, don't eat food. Don't eat food when you are in hunger, because when you are in hunger, you will eat all the rubbish things. All things come in your hand. And water contains all the minerals. Maybe Jaipur water is really good, because in Kerala water is horrible. So I don't find that. Maybe you have to analyze if I want to make a comment on the books. Anyway, it is good, really good. You have come to the valid point, actually proving time immemorial, maybe old belief that, okay, when you are hungry, you drink water. Why drink water? Because water contains almost all the minerals dissolved in it. So that is what is we require. And if your body has got a good digestion, and your everything will come down, your glucose level will come down, your BP will come down, your cholesterol level, everything, metabolism will be balanced. Like, actually, Dr. Vandana can make more comments because you are also from Jaipur.
Yes, sir. So I want to say one thing, that when you have started having like jo chapati, so definitely the first thing that you are doing is you are replacing. तो आप पहले कुछ ऐसा ले रहे होंगे जो उतना हेल्दी नहीं होगा एज कम्पेयर टू दिस मील. सो इट इज नॉट जस्ट द एडिशन ऑफ द मील, इट इज सब्सटीट्यूशन, है ना. सेकेंड थिंग इज एश गॉट जूस. It have got a lot of minerals, as doctors like Shri Kumar have suggested. So basically, by having ashwagandha juice, extra water, the jaw chapati, you are replacing your meals from the existing meal, which might not be as healthy as these things are. And this substitution is helping you in like positive changes in your body. And जब हम इतना sensitized होते हैं ये छोटे छोटे approaches के लिए, तो definitely हमारा sensitivity कहीं higher रहता है. And आपने अपने lifestyle में और भी changes कर रहे थे, शायद कर भी रहे होंगे. And I just hope and pray कि हम उतने अच्छे changes further also we can just go ahead with it, so as to manage a better version of ourselves.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thanks once again to both the speakers. Jiten, can we have the closing slides, please? So, we had part 2 of our three-part series, Diet and Nutrition for Diabetes. Our next webinar is Lifestyle Changes to Manage and Reverse Diabetes. This is on next Sunday, 2nd October at 11 a.m. With our expert, Dr. Saurabh Jain, who was there with us earlier also. and session will be moderated by Sharad Kamra. Next slide, please. We would like to thank our partners, strategic knowledge partners, and community partners who have been supporting us on an ongoing basis. Thanks so much, everyone. Some more area development partners are corporate wellness partners, NGO partners, and wellness partners. Then we have pro bono partners who help us, meet all government obligations, whether they're legal or financial. Thanks so much. Then we have team of doctors and our advisors, and thanks to them, Dr. Sudhir Bhandari and Dr. Sheila Nambiar. Then we have Dr. Rashmi Jain, Dr. Sunil Jain, and Dr. Chavi Mehra. Thanks to all of them for supporting us and guiding us, the core team and advisors. Thanks to all of them, our ambassadors who take our message far and wide. Management team, Mr. Bakshi is our fountainhead who started the whole thing. I am Wing Commander Kala. Then we have Mr. Sharad Kamra, Tushar Garg, Mr. Umaruddin ji, and Mr. Azaruddin who help us bring all these programs to you. Please follow us. We are present on all social media, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram or LinkedIn. We heard this long time back. We kind of heard it indirectly again today. One mantra I would call to remember, so far we used to hear, we are what we eat. The new mantra is, we are what we eat, metabolize, absorb, and detox. All these are important. Once again, as a reminder, next webinar, 2nd October, 11 a.m., lifestyle changes to manage and reverse diabetes. We talked about nutrition today, which is a very important part. We'll learn about something more. Again, Sunday, 2nd October, 11 a.m., expert Dr. Saurabh Jain, moderator Mr. Sharad Kamra. If you have any questions, please feel free to write to us. So thank you so much for being with us and encouraging us to bring these programs to you.